Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to organize things on the Classwork page of your Google Classroom. Now, the Classwork page is where you can post assignments, add in materials and resources, and even add in discussion questions. As you may have noticed in our Google Classroom, I've organized all of the content into different topics, and topics really kind of function like folders. So to create them, you'll click on the button that has the plus sign with the word create on it, and you'll go all the way down to the bottom and select topic. Now, one of the first things that I always recommend that teachers have on their Classwork page at the very top is some sort of important documents type of topic or important resources. Now, this would be something that students need to get back to frequently. So it could be something like a syllabus or a homework schedule or links to various district pages that they may need to get back to. It even could be web resources that students need to access frequently, whether they are at home or at school. So this could be a really great kind of hub for you to have some of those things that students go to frequently. So I'm just going to call this important materials. So after that is where you kind of have a choice. Now you'll notice that in our course I have kind of different modules. And that may lend itself to any classes that, have their course organized by different units. So I'm thinking, a secondary English teacher might have different units throughout the year, thematic units, and maybe that's how the topics are organized. Alternately, if you're teaching, elementary, you might be organizing your course into the different subject areas that you teach. So I could have one for, math and reading and writing. Another way that you may do it as an elementary teacher is if you're teaching kind of in a more interdisciplinary fashion, you might have thematic units where you're teaching all of those subjects within that unit. So you could do it that way. How you choose to do this is totally up to you, but you need to find a method that works for you. It could be even that you do it by week or month. So it's all in kind of the same place and students know where to go. The next decision that you have to make is how do you want to order them? So I'm going to show you, I'm going to just post a second example topic here. And what happens is it posts just like it does on the stream. So in most recent order. Now, again, I'm going to always recommend that you have that important materials at the top so students can see it and they know where it is always. And it's really easy to reorder on the Classwork page. You can just drag and drop it into whatever order you want. Alternately, you can click the three buttons on the right, or the three dots on the right-hand side and move up or down. So in terms of organization, again, I'm going to recommend that you have the important materials at the top, but you might decide that you want the most recent unit to be directly underneath that. You might decide to organize yours more like mine, where it goes in order of the way that you're supposed to work through it. So again, that's going to be up to you and your preferences, and you may change some things based on how you see your students interacting with it. But just know that it is fairly easy to reorder these on this page. There are two other organizational things that I'm going to recommend. One would be maybe including some sort of numbering system. So, as you've noticed in ours, I have them listed by number, kind of in that module order. You could do it in that way. And that might not lend itself to all of the organizational schemes that I just talked about, so know what works for you. But that could be a way that signifies to students, where they're supposed to look. The other thing that you may have noticed in our Google Classroom is that I've included emojis. So you can actually add emojis in here that can kind of cue students in that way as well. You can go to getemojis.com, and I'll attach it to this material, so you can go to that and you can copy and paste them from there. Alternately, you may have a computer that has an emoji kind of keyboard that's built in, and you could copy and paste them in that way. So all of those things will help cue your students. It'll help you talk to your students about the organization and where to find materials when you're in class. It'll also really help if you are at a distance again in the fall. So you may be able to, bring a little bit of order and clarity, which will be helpful for everyone involved. The last two things that you need to know about organizing topics on your classwork page are on the left-hand side, you have kind of a navigation bar over here. So let's say you did decide to order them kind of in chronological order of the way that you roll them out to students during the semester. Instead of having to scroll all the way to the bottom, they could, just click on one of these and it'll jump them right down to that folder. The other thing that's really important to know is that you may have already read this here, but students can only see topics with published posts. So that means that you can prepare these ahead of time and save all of your assignments and materials as drafts, which I'll show you in the next video, and students won't see them at all. They will only see topics that have published posts. So it allows you to prepare and not feel like students are seeing any of this stuff ahead of time. So in the next video, we're going to talk about all of the different assignment types. But that is one of the biggest challenges for any hybrid or even distance learning, is just trying to figure out, how do I want to organize this and what will be most effective for my students.